Hello and welcome to St Albans Pottery. My name's Fiona Booy and today we're going to make Easter eggs. Not the chocolate kind, but instead the clay kind. Now, if you have a look at these, you might think they're quite similar, you might think they're quite different. The main similarity is they're both hollow inside. This one you can eat, this one will break your teeth. Right. This one over here is another beautiful Easter egg with a ribbon on top. You can see there's some beautiful patterning going on, both in colour and in texture. This one, here's the beautiful Faberge Eggs, all kinds of different marks all over this egg. So we're doing both from beautiful stamps. These ones over here, I might just eat after the show. And this over here is my secret Easter egg. As you can see, it's one big Easter egg, but I've actually cut zigzags, and so it's got an inside and an outside. And inside, I've got a little pottery Easter egg. You could make Russian doll Easter eggs that go on forever. Or you could hide a real Easter egg inside and nobody will know. Right, with all these Easter eggs, they are hollow, so even this little baby one has got a hole in the bottom and it's a hollow Easter egg. So let's get started. You're going to need your ball of clay, you're going to need your paintbrush, your pointy stick, your water and your mat. Your mat could be an old pillowcase, an old tea towel, or this is a cut-up book bag that I find very good to work on. So, the other thing you also need to do is go and find things around the house that have lots of interesting textures. This here is one of my favourite. If you see the texture it gives, it does beautiful textures. We also have, thank you, a little bit of pasta here, which also gives beautiful textures. We also have this interesting comb, some of you might recognise it. And it too will give you very interesting textures. I rather like the empty pen tops. They don't actually have ink inside them, but again they can give you a very nice pattern on your piece of work to make interesting patterns, because what we're trying to do is decorate our Easter egg as beautifully as possible with as many different patterns as possible. So, to start, we're going to do the double pinch pot. So we're going to half our clay, and again, if you remember how we made pinch pots before, we're patting it into a shape, and then we're going to do the pinch pot. So we're sticking our thumb in the middle, and we're going down, and we're twisting it, and pinching it, and pinching it, and pinching it. We're pulling it up rather than pulling it out, so that we do actually get a nice round shape. Okay, remember, nothing's going to be thicker than your finger, so you're getting the nice edges there. The bottom is as thick as the sides, so all the walls are about the same thickness. When you're done, you tap it to get a nice flat base. You then do your second piece exactly the same way. What you want are your two pieces the same size. Doesn't really matter if one's bigger than the other, but what you want is those two mouths to match each other. If it's not the same size, you just give it a bit of a squeeze and make it a bit bigger so that yes, they do fit. Right, can you remember how to join? We're doing the hashtags, that's right. We're doing hashtags. So we need our special pointy stick and we just go around doing hashtags. I find it easier to do all the way around one way. Dum 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 dum. Can we see that on the camera? I think so. And then we do the other way of the hashtag. Ding 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 ding. And we do that to the other side. These double pinch pot shape is a really, really strong shape, and you'll find that there's a number of other things. There's another video doing elephants, and I might do some more later as well, that use this very, very strong shape of the double pinch pot. You then get your paintbrush and some water. You want to dab it very carefully. You don't want to break it or wash away those lines that you've just drawn. And what you're getting is water in those ridges. Right, now you get your two halves and you push them together. This part can be a bit tricky, so you want to make sure that you have flattened them, and you're going to just use your fingers to capture the air inside. So you're going to end up with a sealed sphere where the air can't escape. And you're going round, and you see what I'm doing here? I am squidging those edges, and I'm making it nice and smooth. I'm smoothing this down so it was all nice and smooth. Now we want it to be egg shape. So to squeeze it, the chicken is squeezing the egg, and it is now in a bit more of an egg shape. Right. Now, has anyone heard of Faberge eggs? Faberge eggs are fabulous, and they get sold for millions and millions of pounds, and they're actually made of real gold. So this is close to real gold, and what we're going to do is we're going to start doing patterns. So this is where you need to get all your different bits and pieces. So we're going to start with this little guy. Ta-dum, 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 ta-dum. I might want to do another row of other kind of dots. I might then want to get my silver spoon and do those. And we're doing these little patterns all the way around. They're quite nice patterns. But whatever. You're going to do repeating patterns that go all the way around until you actually get a fully decorated egg. Right, so while my trusty assistant is continuing to decorate the Faberge egg, you need to also now think about what you're going to do with the egg. Are you going to have it so that it opens? If so, what are you going to put inside? So are you going to make a smaller egg to go inside? Are you going to make a little baby chick? You'll probably need a sharper knife, and to actually do the cutting, you can either do it in zigzags, like that, and then you'll be able to break it open. And that's what I did on this one. You can see I got these little things and I've done that through. Or you can actually cut a wavy pattern, and that too will then be able to create it open and closed. If you've decided that you're not going to cut it and have it opening and closing, and you want to have a solid Easter egg, don't forget that you do need to make a hole in it so that it can dry. So once it's a little bit drier, or even right now, you can just put that in and you have a hole in the bottom, and that way it will dry. Just think about your creation. What colours are you going to use? Again, the colours you can't put on until it's a bit drier. Particularly if you're using the air drying clay and the acrylics, you want to perfectly finish it and make sure it's lovely and dry before you start putting those acrylic paints on. With the liquid slip, for those of you that have the clay, you can start adding that once it's a little bit firmer. What you can have then is different colours. So you could have one overall colour with different lines of colour. You can see I've highlighted the green dots with bits of yellow. Or you can actually have bands. Be careful when you are actually doing the colouring that you don't fill up all the detailed patterns that you've done. What you might want to do is where you have texture, watering down the either the liquid slip or the acrylic paints, and that way you'll get a thinner line of paint, but it will be a lot more deeper, stronger in colour in the patterns, and thus showing off your pattern a lot more. Well, you get started, have a lovely time making some Easter eggs, have a lovely time eating some Easter eggs, and I'll see you on the next project. What hasn't? Oh wow, Faberge would be proud. Thank you, assistant.